Okay, so what if I told you that one of the ancient world's greatest superpowers has been hiding in plain sight? We're talking about a civilization that was right up there with Rome and Persia, a real heavy hitter, but one that history just kind of forgot. Today, we're diving into the absolutely incredible story of the stone giants of Axum.
So, picture this. It's the 3rd century AD, and this Persian prophet, a guy named Mani, is basically making a list of the world's most powerful empires. And he writes, "There are 4 great kingdoms on earth. The first is Rome, the second is Persia, the third is China, and the fourth is the kingdom of the Axumites." I mean, talk about being in good company, right?
But hold on, let's just think about that list for a second. Rome, Persia, China. Yep, we all know those names. They're the superstars of the history books. But that fourth one, in this age of massive empires, one of them has been almost completely forgotten, totally overshadowed by the others.
Well, that 4th great kingdom, that was Axum. It was located in what we now call Ethiopia. And believe me, this was an African civilization with some serious power and influence. A true global player on the ancient world stage.
So you're probably wondering, how did they get so powerful? Well, it was all about location, location, location. Axum controlled the super important Red Sea trade routes. They were basically the gatekeepers between the Roman Empire and all the amazing stuff coming out of India and Africa. So just imagine, every single shipment of Indian pepper or African ivory, it had to go through them. And you better believe they taxed it all. This made them unbelievably wealthy. So wealthy, in fact, that they became the first African civilization to mint their own coins in gold, silver, and bronze. I mean, that's like putting your face in the dollar bill today. It was a massive statement of power. All right, so what do you do when you're that rich and powerful? Well, like a lot of ancient rulers, the kings of Axum got pretty obsessed with the idea of immortality. But here's the thing, they didn't build pyramids. Nope, they built something totally different, something maybe even more ambitious. Literal skyscrapers made of solid stone. These incredible monuments are called stele. So what's a stele? It's basically a gigantic tower carved from a single solid piece of granite. And their main job? To act as a huge, impossible-to-miss tombstone, marking the spot where an Axumite king was buried underground. But these weren't just boring stone pillars. Oh no, this is where it gets really mind-blowing. The sheer detail carved into them is what sets them apart. See, the Axumites designed them to be eternal homes for their kings. They weren't just markers. They were, quite literally, houses for the dead. And you can totally see what they were going for when you look at the details. They carved everything you'd find in a real building right into the solid granite. Check this out. They've got false doors at the bottom, for the king's spirit to use. They etched